Good morning, y'all. I was trying to see if I can put y'all. Can I put y'all right here? No, that's not gonna work. Of course, this probably won't stay up. Y'all, if y'all fall, I'm sorry. Hey, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Y'all, I'm not gonna be on here long. I just wanted to get on because yesterday, I guess y'all really enjoyed the live, so I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm big. I try to be the most transparent person like I possibly can be because I just want people to know, like, if I can do it, you can do it too. But if this is your first time ever coming across my live or ever coming across seeing me in general, if my phone died, y'all, don't judge me. My name is Sierra Janae, and I'm a wife and mom of two. And I help moms make money online with digital products, preferably done for you digital products, girl, because we like to work smart and not hard. And like I said, I'm not going to be on here long, but I just want to, put it out there, especially for my mamas. Like, I know some moms are probably on their way to work, probably dropping the kids off at school. Well, it's 9:30. I had a little late start today, but still, you might be if you're in a different part of the United States. I'm on the East Coast myself, so it's 9:30. So I know some mamas is probably up. I'm myself. I'm getting ready to run a few errands, do some grocery shopping, y'all. That's one thing I said I was going to definitely start doing this year a little bit more, is actually getting out and getting my groceries. I always be ordering groceries, and I be always want to complain when I don't get what I want. But so if you have never heard of digital marketing, that's what I got on here for. If you've never heard of digital marketing, affiliate marketing, girl, I just want to tell you that it completely changed my life in a little as like a couple of weeks once I actually got started. For so long, I have been looking for different ways to make money without trying to go get a second job because, baby, I'm too cute to be working too hard like that, okay? And so when I found digital marketing, one thing that I'm a big believer in prayer. I'm gonna get over here. I had prayed and I told God, I said, God, if this works out for me, you know how you be making them side deals with Jesus sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Don't judge me. But I was like, God, if this works out for me, I promise you, I'm gonna always give you the glory, the honor. I'm gonna do that anyway. But I'm gonna always, really spread the message and help, you know, as many people as I possibly can. So if you don't know what digital marketing is, long story short, it's any form of, oh Lord, is any form. Are y'all coming? What y'all doing? Hold on, y'all. Sorry. I'm like, dang, they just went and the fire station was coming out. But sorry, my bad, girl. I got interrupted. But if you don't know what digital marketing is, girl, digital marketing is any form of online promotion of a product, a service, ebook guides, PDFs, voice memos. It does not matter. Anytime somebody promotes something online and there is a link to purchase, that is a form of digital marketing. But also, I want to let you know that since you do a form of digital marketing every single day, anytime you share something that you like or you share something that you want to personally check out, when you share it and other people click that link and maybe buy, reserve, whatever, like, sometimes people will share like, oh, there's cabins in Tennessee and I want to check them out, one day I'm going to do this. Well, sometimes when you share that link, people will go and click on the link and purchase that service, and when they do that, you just did a form of digital marketing. You didn't get paid for it. So, once I learned that, like, I can get paid for the things that I enjoy and that I do, I just knew that, it was only up and up from there. Now, I know the biggest kind of misconceptions that a lot of people have, especially beginners, because I work with a lot of beginners. Not a lot of my mentees that I have worked with really didn't have any kind of social media present. So they was kind of a little skeptical, right? But girl, this is why I love talking about digital marketing, especially when it comes to moms, because moms, a big part of being successful at digital marketing is being able to problem solve and solving people's problems, okay? And when I say solve problems, that doesn't have to be anything negative, but just having the answer to their solution. You know how anytime you go on YouTube and you looking for something and you like want it solved right then and there? Well, digital products can also do that as well. And it doesn't have to necessarily be in a format. It could be in an ebook, a guide. It can be, like I said, in a video format. That's just one way of many ways. And, I personally tell moms all the time the best way to get started in this business, because, starting your own business is one thing, but like, sometimes you need practice, because it's completely normal as a beginner to kind of experience those first time jitters, right? Really hoping that, okay, if I do actually take the time to solve a problem, yeah, it could be something highly sought after, but if I don't know how to market myself, if I don't know how to position myself on social media, how will I get this in front of the right people? And that's really kind of the biggest thing that a lot of people struggle with, is actually getting traffic to their page, getting traffic on their social media, so you can actually get eyes on your business, so people will actually buy. And the biggest thing that I always tell people, and I feel like it's really kind of slept on, is people are so focused on who they want to talk to so much. Like, okay, I'm a mom, so I'm going to talk to moms. And that's great, right? But at the same time, if you focus more so on your product and what your product actually solves, that alone will eliminate you trying to figure out, well, who is this for? Who am I talking to? And I tell people all the time, like, something as simple as if you are putting together an ebook, maybe you're, someone who's really advanced in like showing kids how to get potty trained, showing kids how to read. Well, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be speaking to parents. And again, so many people make the mistake where they try to get online. They're like, oh, well, everybody likes planners, so I'm going to make a planner. But okay, with them being 1,001 planners out there, and that, not saying that, it's highly saturated, because you can have your own unique, style or whatever like that, but focusing more so on what does your product actually solve, and whatever that solution is, who your ideal customer is. So once I figured that out and I put it all kind of together, that's when I knew. I was like, as moms, like, we are always running errands, we're doing things, 24/7, going grocery shopping, cleaning up our house, taking our kids to their sport activities, things like that. Well, sis, you can take those everyday moments and turn it into content, because one, when a mom sees you, she can relate to that. And that's the biggest and the first thing, how to get someone's attention. And once you have their attention, then you can actually plug a product to them. And so as a mom, like, you don't have to have any kind of, experience, any kind of, like, a lot of people be like, well, do I have to have a degree or a certificate? No, you just have to have the willingness to want to learn how to create a social media presence, right? It's not about going viral. It's not about, having a whole bunch of followers, because I myself, I've made over $300,000 I could have turned right there. I made over $300,000 as a complete beginner, and I don't have a large following. Nobody really knows who I am. I don't have no clout on social media. I just learned how to position myself, and that's the biggest thing. And I knew how to learn how to speak to moms specifically, because I knew moms had a gap, and their problem that needed to be solved was moms are tired of having to choose between being a present mom or spending time with their children, or having to go work overtime instead of being able to attend their kids' sports functions and things like that, right? So how can I, and this is what I basically had the conversation with myself, how can I create something where a mom who is limited on time, who doesn't have that much time, she's working a job, she has to take care of the kids, she still got to clean the house, she still got to do all that, right? How can she make passive income with not having to do the most, with not having to get a second job, with not having to do Amazon, Instacart, all of that, right? And so I created my community, and it's called the Mompreneur Method. And I created it in a way that a mom could actually learn on her time. It's podcast style learning, so you're not locked in feeling like you have to just be staring at a screen. You can literally listen to it on the go. Like when I was just in the car now, I was literally just playing it and listening to and learning the knowledge in a way that makes sense for you. A lot of the times, a lot of programs are not created for moms and don't have moms in mind, where that's not a bad thing. It's just they're speaking from experience of already being established, of already, achieving their goals, where moms, a lot of us were beginners. A lot of us are beginners, right? And it's like, where do I even start? Yeah, I'm on social media, but I never really post anything like that strategically, right? Y'all, let me order my matcha 1 second, okay, girl? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? Let me know if you're in the chat. Hi, yes, I had a call-in orders for Sierra.
Sierra?
Yeah.
Alright, you can move that, please.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm addicted to this matcha, girl. It's got me in a chokehold. It's so much better than Starbucks. But yeah, so once I learned that, man, if I could make, when I made my first $100,000 from selling someone else's product, it was a done for you digital marketing course. And I was like, wow, with the right system, imagine if I made this strictly for a mom, strictly for, that beginner mom, that mom who's like, I do want to make money, and I'm willing to put in the work. I just don't know where to start. And that's exactly what you learn inside of the Mompreneur Method. I also even eliminated the idea of, well, who am I going to talk to? Who is my niche? All of that. Sis, your niche is, I don't even like to say niche, but your niche is talking to moms. That's why it's called the Mompreneur Method. Every time you resell the program, it's 100% profit. You keep all the money. Hi. Thank you so much. You too. Ooh, it look good too, girl. Did they stir it in? I'm sorry, y'all. I got excited about that matcha. But yeah, so I try to eliminate every excuse, because that's one thing, once I started mentoring and coaching so many different people, and I'm like, okay, if I can help transform a beginner, a person that has never used social media, a person that has never used a computer, surely I can help moms. Because what we do, y'all, every single day is content, and content is free advertisement and free ways to get you paid without running ads, without doing anything, literally showing up and doing the things that you have to do anyway. And so this is why I always try to tell people, like, use me as an example, y'all. Again, I do not have a large following by any means. Granted, when I first started, I did start the Done For You digital marketing way, which again, I highly recommend that way, just so you can kind of get, really build that muscle up of promoting a product, right? It's not about promoting 1,001 products, and that's what people always want to get out here and confuse you and tell you to do. You need one solid product that you can sell over and over and over and continue to scale over and over and over. And if you can do that, baby, you can do anything. And so that's why I created the Mompreneur Method. And like I said, I didn't want it to be affiliate. I want it to be every sale that every mom earns, she keeps it 100%. And it allows her to be able to do the things and live her life on her own terms, because this is what I've been able to do. When I first, right before I got into digital marketing, my husband was still working 2 full-time jobs to try to support us. I was tired of not being able to do the things that I wanted to do the things that I wanted to do for my kids. Granted, I mean, we were okay, but it was literally just enough. It was never enough to do anything extra. It was never enough to do anything. Like, my kids wanted to go on vacation. They wanted to go to Disney World, things like that. I couldn't afford that. Even if I got a loan, even if I got a credit card to put on, baby, I ain't had the money. Okay. And so I got tired of that. I got tired of when I would go to the mall, and seeing cute little outfits. Y'all know how if you got a daughter girl, you be seeing them cute little outfits. You can't, you have to say no. Or even if it was a toy or something, right? I was tired of that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to change that. Like, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to figure this out. And I'm going to be able to do the things. I'm going to be able to, like, right now, baby, we're going to go grocery shop. We're going to go take ourselves to brunch and do a little something like that. The small things. It wasn't about, I mean, of course, who doesn't want to be rich? Who doesn't want to be wealthy, right? But just being in a comfortable place. I wanted to be able to predict my actual income instead of like, oh, Lord, I hope we have enough this week, or I hope I got enough to pay this bill, or Lord, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my light bill. I was tired of that. And once I said, you know what, enough is enough, I did something about it. So I'm telling, and hence why I get on here every single day to try to motivate and inspire so many women. Girl, it does not matter your background. It does not matter the knowledge that you have. It does not matter. All that matters is, do you want to change? Do you want a different situation? Do you like working 40 hours a week just to not have nothing at the end, just to pay bills? Or would you like to be able to do more for yourself, for your family, and to even set your kids up? That was another thing. I don't have really any family, any friends like that. So I'm like, me and my husband, we tell each other all the time, like, baby, this is it. We all we got. And if you know what I'm saying? So I had to make sure that they were good. And luckily, thank God, I said yes. I was terrified. It was a scary thought. But at the end of the day, you should be more scared about working a job and continuing to show up every single day for a person that's making $20, $40, $50,000 off of you, while you only making $20 an hour, while you only making $25 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been programmed for so long to think that, oh, if y'all stay on this job for 30 years and be a good boy, a good girl, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be all right. Yeah, you have health insurance and all that, and that's cool. But it's just like, it's really a ripoff. They don't push in school about hopping into entrepreneurship and having something of your own and creating your own income for yourself. Instead, it's your earning potential is capped, and it will always be capped. Again, ain't nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but use your 9 to 5 to fund the life that you want to live. Like, y'all, like, I would have never thought in a million years, y'all, like, me and my husband right now, and this is not me trying to brag, I'm just trying to show y'all what was possible. I went from barely being able to pay my mortgage to now having multiple properties in my name. Now I'm getting ready to purchase a luxury apartment in Chicago, all because I invested in me. And with me invested in me, I was able to create more businesses that make me more money. So again, like, I know there's a lot of scams on the internet, and I completely understand that, but that's why I'm always big on, like, telling people, pray, ask God, do a fast, do whatever you need to do to figure it out. But don't let 2026 be the same cycle that you was in last year, and you figuring out, how am I gonna be able to do this? Oh, I gotta take a loan out of my 401k. I gotta do that. Like, that ain't living. They must have been sitting in my chair, because why am I leaning back like this? I'm sorry, y'all. So again, if you are a mom and, like I said, you've been looking for a way, sis, don't be scared. Don't be shy. Feel free. Ask questions. I give away free resources all the time. I try to be, as helpful as I possibly can. I know it's a scary thought, but again, you should be more scared of being in the same place that you was last year, that you in right now, come next year. So again, it's all about you saying, you know what? I'm gonna do it, but you gotta show up. And no way am I saying what I do, what I help people do, is a get rich quick scheme by any means, okay? It requires work. It requires you to show up, but you can have fun doing it at the same time, okay? It's not about knowing all the answers or being an expert, okay? That's what selling a Done For You digital marketing course is all about. you, as you're learning, you can earn at the same time, okay? And again, I took out the whole idea of, oh, who am I talking to or whatever. Sis, you talking to moms. Do you know how many mom groups there are online? Do you know how many mom, different like hashtags and stuff that you can find online? It's easy to reach our audience, okay? We ain't speaking to, you don't have to go through that funnel of dealing with a whole bunch of kids and weirdos and this and that. I speak to moms, and that's probably the easy. And I'm so glad that I do that. Don't get me wrong. I help other people as well too. Like, I've helped literally people from the ages of 16 all the way up to 67, but the core of who I help is moms. That's what I'm passionate about doing, because I know it's possible. It does not matter. It does not matter your living situation. It does not matter. I have seen it all. I literally have helped moms who were literally living in their car, and something told them to reach out to me, and they did, and their life completely changed, and they locked in. Again, you got to be fed up with your situation if you want to change it. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to just drop out of the sky for you. Nobody's just going to randomly come and save you. You just have to literally make it up in your mind that I want something different. I'm going to do something different. My habits are going to change. The way I think, the way I eat, the way I talk, the way I show up, all of that is going to change. And once you decide that and you really go all in, I'm telling you, and I'm speaking from experience, a person that used to be the biggest procrastinator that you know, girl, okay? If I could be delivered and come from all of that, baby, I know damn well you can, okay? So do I have any moms inside? I know there's going to be moms that come back and watch the replay of this. Sis, if you're still on the fence, I completely understand, but I don't want you to be. Okay, when you get inside of the Mompreneur, you get me as your coach. You get me as your, as your mentor and everything like that. But on top of that, not only do you have a course that literally tells you what to say, tells you how to show up, tells you what to post. What is that? Sorry, y'all, got distracted. Tells you what to post, but I even threw in a bot in there, right, to literally help y'all. I'm a huge believer in some chat GPT, okay? But I even program my own chat GPT for the Mompreneur Method, right? Because I want moms to be successful. I want moms to make passive income. Sis, I want you going out living your best life. I want you taking multiple vacations a year. I want you to, a saving account is cute, but I want you investing in mutual funds and getting you a financial planner so you can be set up so your life can look completely different. All the things that I have been through and that I have personally experienced, I want every mom to have that, okay? I want you to spend your summers in a different country if that's something that you want to do. Give your kids different experiences that you didn't have as a child. That's the most important thing to me. But I'm telling you, with leading with God first, get you a done for you digital marketing course and start the easy way, okay? Again, if you are somebody who's like, girl, I got my own planner, I'm about to come out with that, that's cute, sis, and all, but start the way where it's going to be the fastest way where you can actually scale. And once you scale, people will start trusting you. And once people start trusting you, they'll buy anything from you, okay? Start the easy way. That's the best. People ask me all the time, like, same people that I started around the same time when I started my digital marketing journey. And, I don't even consider myself, don't get me wrong, I've made a lot of money, but I definitely feel like I could have made more, right? Because I don't show up all the time, if I'm being honest, right? Sometimes, baby, this is the most money I had ever seen in my life, so I started slacking. But I definitely took the money that I had, instead of tricking it off, I invested it in other businesses because I wanted to work for me. I didn't want to have to show up every single day and get on live in order to make money, right? So I took the money that I earned and invested it in Toro, invested it in Airbnb, invested in other side hustles that could make me money in my sleep. So if I don't show up, baby, guess what? We still getting paid. I don't know if I got any mamas that's watching this live right now, but sis, wouldn't you want that? Again, you can still work your 9 to 5, but some of y'all are at a point where you're ready to come off of that 9 to 5, and that's completely understandable. If you're miserable and you hate waking up every morning and it's such a dread, well, sis, you need to be doing something to figure out how to get out of that situation. And again, it's not scrolling on TikTok and thinking that that's going to solve your problem. It's actually saying, you know what? I've done my research and I'm ready to invest. I'm ready to invest in me. I'm ready to learn a skill that nobody can ever take away from me, a skill that's going to make me money over and over and over again, y'all. Like, all I do every single day, again, I don't have no fancy kind of setup. As y'all can see, I'm talking to y'all while I'm driving. I make a lot of money doing this, okay? So if I can do this, you can do this too. Every time you resell the Mompreneur Method, sis, like I said, that is $397, 100% profit. Girl, just a couple of those a day, that's your payment for childcare. That's your payment for your rent, your mortgage. That's your car payment, things like that. Once you start making passive income, that can easily turn into full-time income for you. But again, you have to start. You got to do something different come 2026, okay? God just put that on my heart to just tell y'all that, because I'm serious. Like, I know that feeling of being scared. I know that feeling of asking God, give me a way, give me an answer, show me something. What do I need to do? What you want me to do? There may be a reason why you're coming across this live. There may be a reason why you coming back and watching this replay, okay? So again, it starts with you. A closed mouth don't get fed, okay? And God can turn your situation around. This morning when I was doing my Bible study, I don't know why, like, it had been heavy on my heart to really read the book of Luke. And let me not say it like I'm just this super, I'm not one of them Bible quoting people. Okay, I'm working on my cussing and everything, so don't judge me, girl. But like, no, but like, in the first, literally the first couple of verses in Luke, it was talking about how, like, Zacharias and his wife and everything like that had like, they were like righteous people, they were good people, right? And they had been praying and praying and praying for God to bless them, with the child, but it never happened for them. And sometimes, we doing everything that we need to do, and you sometimes be questioning God, like, God, why is it not happening for me? When is it gonna happen for me? Like, I'm good, what I'm saying? I try to read my Bible, I try to show up, what I'm saying? I try to be right, do right by people, but when is it gonna be my time, right? But when God says he's ready, it's gonna happen for you. And that's the thing, like, even with that, they was talking about, like, how this is just my perception of how I received it or whatever, but like, they were older in age, and so an angel came to them and was like, hey, dog, y'all gonna have a baby. And they was like, ain't no way, basically the husband, Zacharias, was like, no, we not, like, I'm too old to be having a baby. And the angel was like, well, God sent me to tell you that your prayer has been heard. And for a lot of us that have been praying, we pray about a lot, but that one prayer, God has heard it. But in due time, when he is ready and when you are ready to receive it, he's gonna make sure it happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I always relate my journey back to. I had tried so many different side hustles, y'all, so many different side hustles, because that's one thing about me. Since I've been a child, a kid, baby, I ain't got no problem working. I don't, like, what I'm saying? If it's gonna give me the lifestyle that I want to live, baby, I work. Okay. But I have been praying, I'm like, God, like, I always try to do right by people, I always try to be good to people. Like, when is it gonna happen for me where I can just finally have this financial freedom, this breakthrough, what I'm saying, where life could be easy, where I can put my bills on auto pay and I don't have to be stressed out? When is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? And just literally at the right but wrong time for me, I felt like it happened. Something told me to do it fast, and I had previously tried to do digital marketing before. I had tried to do all the other different side hustles before, and nothing ever clicked. When I just said, you know what, God, just use me. Whatever's supposed to be meant to be, just let it be. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie, just like how, and it's so funny because in the Bible, when he was saying, he was like, when Zacharias was like, well, I'm too old, like, why would God answer my prayer now? Like, bro, I'm old. Like, why would I about to, have a baby? And he's like, they muted him to basically say, I don't want you to block your blessing. Because sometimes we be in such a distraught and going through so much that we forget, and we don't even realize we could be cursing our own blessing. Where in turn, if it is meant to be and when it's meant to be, God is gonna make it happen. And again, God just put that on my heart to tell y'all, because like I said, that was my Bible study this morning, girl. I know that was a little ghetto version of it, but for real, like, and they end up having a baby, and end up being, John. Like, girl, you got to read it for yourself. But I'm just saying, sis, if you've been praying, I'm telling you, God hears you, and he's gonna answer your prayer when he needs to. But I'm just telling y'all, like, this is why I do what I do. Like, yes, I make a lot of money, and I'm grateful for that. But again, the biggest thing that I have taken away from my whole journey is being a blessing to others, leading others to God. Because you can be, what I'm saying, a kingdom believer, whatever you want to call it, a child of God, and also be blessed. And I'm not just saying financially. I'm saying, just walking. And what I mean, like, I feel so good as a person. You know what I mean? Like, from who I was just a couple of years ago, and I'm so grateful to God. And like I said, that's why I always say, Jesus, I'm always gonna give you the glory, and I'm gonna always put the mamas on, put the people on, let them know, if I could do this, you can do this too. But all right, y'all, like I said, I'm about to run. I gotta run up here to my job real quick. I gotta go get these papers. I'm gonna go do a few little errands. Yeah, I might get on a little bit later. But like I said, I'm trying to get back to doing my little 2-a-days. And I'm about to park up here in the front too. But as always, y'all, if y'all have any questions, if you need a little bit more info, I'm always here to help. I love helping people. I love answering your questions. And just like, again, putting you on. I'm on a mission to help 1 million moms make $1 million. One thing I didn't want to do was wait until I hit $1 million to start helping people. So inside of my community, I share all my tips and tricks, everything that I personally learned that helped me get to that next level. So if I can do this, like I said, you can do this as well, okay? I have free resources linked down below in the description. But again, don't be afraid to ask. Do something different. Like I'm telling y'all, purposely, if you don't take nothing away from me, move differently this year, okay? If you get up at 7 o'clock every morning, start getting up at 5. If you know what I'm saying, want to change something about yourself, take baby steps. It ain't got to be a drastic change. Literally, You can have the life that you want to live, but it starts with you saying yes. It starts with you saying, you know what, I'm going to do something differently. And sometimes it even takes you saying no. No to the people that you've been around, no to your family members, all of that. No, I'm going to show up differently. Okay. But all right, y'all, that was my little TED talk for about 25 minutes today. I will see y'all a little bit later. I'll probably get on a little bit after I got to get home and start cooking. We're going to make some cabbage with some sausage and shrimp today. Okay. With some cornbread. But all right, girl, I will see you later. Bye.